Hi, I'm Scott Bakken with HHA Sports, and today we have a brand new Optimizer Ultra just mounted to our bow, and we're going to work on sighting it in. The first thing you'll notice when you mount the Optimizer Ultra to your bow is that you actually get two choices of mounting holes. You have a set of holes that are a little bit farther forward on the sight and a set of holes that are a little bit farther back. This is all personal preference on where you want to mount your sight. It's basically just choosing if you want your sight a little bit farther out from your bow or if you like it closer in. I prefer mine a little bit farther out, so I mounted my sight on the back two holes. So now that we have the sight mounted, we're gonna get our first yardage mark. So with the Optimizer Ultra, you get two options for sighting it in and picking out your pre-printed yardage tape. Your first option is to shoot 20 and 60. So shooting 20 yards and 60 yards and getting your yardage tape that way. That's the preferred method, because once you do 20 and 60, then you're gonna use that exact tape number. Or you can shoot 20 yards and 40 yards and take that number and then go to a conversion chart. That's the way we're gonna do it today. We have a little bit of wind today, so shooting a little bit longer distances is gonna be a little difficult. So we're gonna do the 20 and 40 method, but you can do 20 and 60. So our first shot is going to be at 20 yards here. I have my dial on my Ultra turned down to about Mark 10, and this is just a sure guess. We're lucky we have a pretty big target to shoot at, so we have some room to play with, but I'm going to start at Mark 10 and see where we go from there. That first shot was pretty high. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my dial from Mark 10, and I'm going to go, because we're about a foot high, I'm going to go down to probably about Mark 3 and see where my next arrow hits. Okay, still a little high, so I'm going to move my dial all the way down to 0. All right, so we shot our first round of arrows and we were shooting pretty high. And when adjusting our dial, we actually ran out of room on our dial to bring our arrows down. So 0 is the bottom of the dial, and we were at 0 and we were still shooting too high. So we actually had to go in and move our scope housing up a set of holes to help bring the arrows down. So now that we made those adjustments, we're gonna start off again, but this time I'm going to start my dial at about mark number 5 just to see where that hits. So we started out at 10 with our scope housing down, and now that we moved it up, we're going to start at 5 and then see from there. So the first arrow is pretty much right in there. It's a little bit to the left, but up and down looks pretty good. So to compensate for the left and right, we're going to loosen up our micro windage. And since we're shooting a hair left, I'm going to bring the scope housing into the left. So you always chase the arrow. So I'm going to make just a few clicks to bring it in. And one click is about an 1/8 inch at 20 yards. So I don't need to make much of an adjustment, just a little one. Tighten our lock knob down. Okay, it's pretty much the same spot. We'll shoot one more just to... Okay, so we're still just a hair low and to the left. So I'm going to make the necessary adjustments and then we'll go from there. So we just got done shooting at 20 yards and we made some minor adjustments, and it turns out that our 20-yard mark on our dial is at mark number 8. So you can either mark that on your tape or make mental note of it, that 20 yards is at mark number 8. So we're at 40 yards right now. And I'm gonna move my adjustment dial to, I'm gonna try number 25 and see where that gets me. So, you could go 20, 30, 40 and get your 40-yard mark that way, but we're just gonna try mark number 25 and see where that gets us. All right, that one looked pretty good. We'll run down and take a quick look and see if we need to make any adjustments from there. Now that we have our Optimizer Ultra shot in at 20 yards and 40 yards, we have the 2 marks on our setup tape that we need in order to find the correct pre-printed yardage tape that will have us sighted in from 20 yards all the way out to 80 yards. So at 20 yards, we were at mark number 8, and at 40 yards, we were at mark number 25. So if you take 8 from 25, that gives you number 17. We're going to take number 17 and look it up on the conversion chart that comes with your Optimizer Ultra. So if you look at 17, right across from that, it's going to reference number 38. Number 38 is our final tape number that we need to lay down on our Ultra speed dial. So in our package of pre-printed sight tapes that comes with your Ultra, we're going to find tape number 38. So we're going to take number 38, we're going to match our 40-yard mark on our yardage tape with our 40-yard mark on our setup tape, lay the tape down, and now our Ultra will be sighted in from 20 to 80 yards by the individual yard. So now that we've successfully laid down our correct yardage tape on our Optimizer Ultra, we are sighted in from 20 yards all the way out to 80 yards by the individual yard. I'm Scott with HHA Sports. For more information, instructional videos, or product videos, visit us at hhasports.com or visit us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.